Super Scholars, it's Miss Gross. Today we're going to be working on lesson 12-4 in math. So I want for you to make sure that you are on the page. It's 12-4, page 645. It looks like this. I'm going to give you just a few minutes to find that and make sure you're here with me. All right, so you should be at 12-4, and it is adding fractions with denominators of 10 and 100. Now, this might seem like it's easy because you're going to say, well, we've already done adding fractions. I know how to do this. But today, we're going to be working on when they don't have the same denominator. So we're going to be mixing it up and trying something new. So the solve and share today says, the mural is divided into 100 equal parts. Marilyn's class painted 3/10 of the mural, and Cal's class painted 27/100 of the mural. How much of the mural have the two classes painted? Solve the problem any way you choose. So what you're wanting to do is using the mural they have here, you want to find out how much they've painted together. Okay, so Marilyn's class painted 3/10 and Cal's class painted 27/100. How could you use the picture to help you figure out the answer to this question? I'm going to give you a minute to solve it on your own, and then I'll help solve it with you. All right, Super Scholars, I'm going to go ahead and go over this with you. If you are still working, tune in and you can check with me. So we have 3/10 for Marilyn's class. Now, when I look at this, I don't see this split into tenths, it's split into hundredths. I want to think about how I could imagine that this was in tenths. And I know that a hundreds chart has 10 rows of 10. So each of these columns is a 10. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3 tenths. I've colored in 3 out of my 10 sections. So 3/10 is also the same as 30 hundredths. How did I come up with 30 hundredths? Yes, they are equivalent fractions. So the way I know that it's 30 hundredths is if I looked at my picture, I could count each little box and come up with 30. Or I could say, well, I know 3 times 10 gives me 30. 10 times 10 gives me 100. These are equivalent fractions because you can multiply the top and the bottom by the same number to get your equivalent fraction. So now I'm going to shade in how much Cal's class had. So he has 27. Now, instead of counting out 27, I know that one column is 10, so I'm going to say 10, 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I know that that is 27 hundredths. Now, you could count to get your answer and say, I have 10, I'm going to change my pen color. I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 7. I have 57 hundredths. You could also now create an addition sentence for these. Because you turned 3/10 into a fraction with 100 as the denominator, you now have 30 hundredths plus 27 hundredths equals, we don't add the denominators, we only add the numerators using our rules for adding fractions. 30 plus 27 equals 57. And shoo, that's a rough 5. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase. And I'm going to move on to the next part. Okay, here we have our visual learning. I'm not going to walk through the visual learning with you because it explains it. You can also log on to your Pearson platform and watch the video where they will walk you through it. But it gives you step by step how you could solve the problem. They're converting their tenths into an equivalent fraction with hundredths, just like we did. 4 times 10 and 10 times 10 gives you 40 hundredths, and then adding them. We're going to skip number 1 because that goes along with that visual learning, but we're going to do number 2 together. It says, write a problem that represents the addition shown below, then solve. So I want to know what these two pictures are showing. So I can see in my first one, I only have one of these that is not shaded in. That tells me that that is 9/10. Without even having to count them, I know if it's cut into 10 and one is not shaded, then it must be 9/10. In this one, I'm going to count each column and see. Now, you could count each one, but that would take you a lot of time. So you want to use your efficient strategy and count by 10. So you've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1. Okay, so then I have 9/10 plus 71 100ths. Can I add these straight across? No, I can't because they don't have the same denominator. So what I want to do is turn 9/10 into a fraction with 100 as the denominator. As we know, we have to multiply the same as the top and the bottom. So if I take out 9/10 and I make it 9 times 10 would be 90. 10 times 10 gives me my 100. So now I have 90 100ths plus 71 1/100th, what do I get? Okay, you should have come up with 90 plus 70 would give you 100 and work it out. 60, and then add your 161 100ths. Now, is this an improper fraction? Yes. So we want to break out that 100. 100 minus 100 is 1 and 61 hundredths. Great job. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3, and then I'm going to let you all work independently on your own for a few of them. So I have 3/10 plus 4/100. Unfortunately, we can't just add them straight across because they have different denominators. So I want to turn 3/10 into something with 100 as the denominator. I know I need to multiply by 10. So 3 times 10 equals 30. Then 10 times 10 equals 100. Is 30 100ths my answer? No, that's just converting it. I still have to add 4 100ths. So 30 100ths plus 4 100ths equals 34 100ths. Okay, take a few minutes, do number 4, 5, 6, 7 on your own. Actually, just do 4, 5, 6, and I'll do 7 with you here in just one sec. Okay, I'm going to work out number 7 with you. Now, number 7 is a little more tricky because we have 2 different ones that we need to convert over into hundredths, but it's the same process. So you're not going to change anything as you're working through this. All you're going to do is instead of converting 1, you're going to convert 2. I know 8 times 10 is 80. I know 1 times 10 is 10. So we're going to have 80 100ths plus 10 100ths plus 7/100. All you are doing is converting those over so that they have the same denominator. I know 80 plus 10 is 90, plus 7 more is 97. Hopefully you all feel really confident in doing this. I'm going to erase. I'm going to scroll down. I want for you to complete numbers 8 as well as the independent practice. I do want you to look at numbers 9, 10, and 11 with me very quickly. I'm going to do number 9 with you just so you see what they are looking for. It has an equal sign in the middle of the problem here. This is just saying they want it to be the same on both sides of that equal sign. So 21/100 plus 2/10 is the same as saying 21/100 plus how many hundredths? You're exactly right, 20/100. Okay, so all you are looking for here is to put a 20 in that box. Same for numbers 10 and 11. They're just wanting you to make it equal on both sides of the equal sign. 12 through 23 just wants you to solve the problems. Work through all of these on your own. There will be a quick Go Formative, just one question so that I can check and see how you all are doing on these. We'll probably have 2. Okay. But if you have any questions, reach out to us and come to our Zoom office hours. I think you all will rock this because I know that we're really good at adding fractions. Have a great afternoon, Super Scholars. Bye.